Archaeologists have discovered a huge ancient city hidden underground in Mexico, which may give a better understanding of the Maya civilization.
Deep in the dense jungles of northeastern Guatemala, an untouched Mayan tomb has been discovered at Chochkitam. An archaeological team from Tulane University, led by Francisco Estrada-Belli, used advanced light detection and ranging technology to locate the chamber hidden beneath layers of jungle and rubble. The investigation has revealed several well-preserved artifacts, including a mosaic jade mask, carved human femur bones with hieroglyphic inscriptions, rare spondylus shells, and ceramic vessels. This discovery offers a rare look into a royal burial from the ancient Maya period. Join us as we get into it. But then came a twist no one saw coming. Just beyond the looters' reach was a sealed chamber, untouched for over 1,000 years. So, what exactly did the team find inside? And why has it left experts speechless? The mysterious discovery. In early 2022, a team of archaeologists working in the Petén region of Guatemala uncovered an astonishing site near Chochkitam. The discovery occurred when researchers noticed unusual anomalies in light detection and ranging maps, LiDAR, which revealed a structure hidden beneath a thick jungle canopy. Francisco Estrada-Belli and his team recognized that the anomaly was more than a natural formation. They soon located an entrance created purposefully by looters who had only penetrated a few feet into an ancient pyramid. Remarkably, the looters had stopped just before reaching the sealed chamber of a royal tomb. When the team began systematic excavation, they found a narrow passage leading to a burial chamber whose stone ceiling had partially collapsed. Despite natural decay, most of the tomb remained intact. Inside the chamber lay a collection of objects that immediately attracted attention. Among these, the mosaic jade mask gleamed, its many fragments expertly reassembled to form a vivid representation that some experts believe symbolized a storm god. Carved human femur bones were also discovered. These bones bore hieroglyphic inscriptions that appeared to record details of the royal lineage. In addition to these items, more than a dozen spondylus shells and numerous ceramic vessels were preserved in remarkably pristine condition. Each artifact was handled with a lot of care, as the team knew that the findings could change prevailing views about ancient Maya practices. The chamber contained evidence that the tomb belonged to a previously unknown Maya king, whose identity may be linked with the name Itzam Kokaj Bahlam. This name surfaced on one of the inscribed bones. The careful recovery of each object allowed researchers to document the composition and arrangement of the artifacts. They noted that the items followed a ritual sequence often seen in royal Mayan burials, suggesting that the offerings were intended to accompany the deceased on a journey to the afterlife. But just as the researchers began piecing together the ritual significance of the burial, a new layer of mystery emerged, one that no one had anticipated. A discovery so unusual it left even the most seasoned archaeologists speechless. What could it mean? Was it simply a ceremonial anomaly, or did it hint at a much deeper, hidden narrative in Maya history? As the excavation deepened, so did the questions. Could this tomb belong to a long-lost dynasty, one previously erased from the records? What the team uncovered next would challenge assumptions, ignite debate, and raise one big question. Had they just scratched the surface of something far greater? The initial excitement was tempered by caution. The team emphasized that while the evidence was convincing, every detail required thorough analysis. They secured the site and began carefully recording the position of each item. The integrity of the tomb was a fortunate circumstance, given that most ancient Maya sites had suffered from too much looting over the decades. The untouched nature of this tomb provided the team with an opportunity to observe the burial practices as they were originally designed. To create a permanent record, detailed photographs and 3D scans were taken, ensuring accuracy even if further damage occurred. Researchers immediately recognized the significance of the findings. Their preliminary reports outlined the clear parallels between the objects discovered and known elements of Maya royal ceremonies. The jade mask and inscribed bones, in particular, hinted at complex rituals involving divine symbolism and ancestral veneration. The team understood that these items not only confirmed the site's royal status, but also provided a rare snapshot of Maya artistry and religious practice during the ancient period. Every aspect of the chamber, from the strategic arrangement of offerings to the choice of materials, seemed to have been infused with meaning. Some experts compared the discovery to winning an archaeological lottery. The comprehensive documentation by Estrada-Belli's team made it possible to plan a good excavation strategy that prioritized both preservation and research. Over days of careful digging, the archaeologists exposed wider areas of the tomb, mapping the dimensions of the burial chamber and outlining the areas where the looters had left off. With every brushstroke across the ancient stone, the secrets of a lost royal heritage began to emerge. The team hoped that further work at the site would eventually yield even more information about the mysterious ruler and the practices of his time. As the tomb slowly revealed its secrets, one question lingered. How did the team even find such a hidden site in the first place? The answer lies not in chance, but in cutting-edge tech that turned the jungle transparent. So, what tool gave archaeologists a new way to see through centuries of overgrowth? Let's dive into the location, the tech that changed the game, and the early steps that led to this incredible discovery. The location, technology, and early research. The tomb lies within the archaeological site of Chochkitam, located near the border shared by Guatemala, Mexico, and Belize. This region, steeped in ancient history, has long attracted researchers seeking to understand ancient Maya civilization. The terrain is dense with jungle and scattered ruins that date back many centuries. Historically, explorers and early archaeologists had noted the existence of ancient structures in this remote region, but looting and natural overgrowth concealed their full potential. Prior expeditions had been forced to rely on old digging methods and scant aerial surveys. The turning point came with the adoption of LiDAR technology, a method that uses laser pulses from an airplane to create detailed maps of the ground below. LiDAR, sometimes described as giving an X-ray view of the jungle floor, allowed researchers to see beyond the thick canopy. In areas where the vegetation obscured historical structures, the laser mapping revealed the outlines of pyramids, pathways, and even hidden tunnels. This technological breakthrough played a key role in locating the entrance to the Mayan tomb. Francisco Estrada-Belli, a professor at Tulane University, led the research team with care and dedication. His experience and background in Maya archaeology were central to interpreting the LiDAR data accurately. The technology enabled his team to target specific spots where irregularities appeared on the digital terrain model. One of these anomalies turned out to be the very entrance created by previous looters, a feature that perfectly preserved the tomb by stopping further intrusions. Early research at the site had focused on establishing the chronological sequence of the structures in the area. Excavations in the mid-20th century by pioneers had provided limited insights into the region. However, the advent of new technology revitalized interest. When Estrada-Belli's team obtained the LiDAR maps, they compared them with earlier archival photographs and maps, saying that many older records had missed important details. The new digital images delineated the ancient pyramidal base, as well as a network of tunnels that looters had exploited. This network extended beneath the jungle floor for several meters, but abruptly ended just a few feet from the unspoiled burial chamber. Once the entrance was located, the team arranged for careful excavation. They used fine brushes, small trowels, and non-invasive surveying techniques to minimize any disturbance to the context. Every step was recorded, and every object was catalogued with exact geolocation data. Researchers observed that the tomb's structure hinted at a sophisticated understanding of construction in the Maya ancient period. The stone walls, though partially crumbled over time, were built from local limestone that had been shaped and set with minimal mortar. This construction technique was common in the region, ensuring that the tomb retained its form for over 1,000 years. The research team involved experts from several institutions. Collaborators included specialists in Maya epigraphy, ceramic analysis, and ancient metallurgy. International experts joined the efforts, and samples were sent to laboratories in Guatemala, the United States of America, and Europe. By combining fieldwork with laboratory analysis, the team hoped to find not only the identity of the ruler interred in the tomb, but also a deeper understanding of the cultural and political environment in which he lived. The inscriptions on the carved bones and the stylistic elements of the jade mask offered clues that linked the tomb with other known Maya sites, such as Tikal and Teotihuacan. During the initial survey, the team noticed that the tomb had a unique layout compared with other Mayan burials. The chamber had been sealed with a stone wall that appeared to have been constructed rapidly, possibly to secure the integrity of the burial during a period of political uncertainty. Early radiocarbon tests later indicated that the tomb dated to approximately 350 CE, placing it squarely within the ancient period of Maya history. At that time, the Maya were known for their elaborate rituals and strong dynastic traditions. Every detail of the chamber's construction, from the collapse of the stone ceiling to the deliberate placement of artifacts, was seen as reflecting the intricate religious and political life of the period. The use of modern technology, such as LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar, has transformed research in this field. The data obtained provided not only the location of the tomb, but also a three-dimensional view of the surrounding terrain. This allowed the archaeologists to plan a controlled excavation that respected both the physical integrity of the structure and the cultural significance of the findings. In addition to mapping the tomb, the technology helped researchers locate secondary features in the vicinity, including possible ceremonial platforms and additional burial sites. The early work at the site has already led to further investigations in other parts of the Maya Biosphere Reserve, as similar hidden structures might yet be discovered. The bottom line is the combination of historical records, modern remote sensing technology, and careful on-site excavation brought to light a hidden chapter in Maya history. The newfound ability to peer through the jungle canopy without disturbing the natural environment has opened up exciting avenues for future archaeological research in the region. The success at Chochkitam demonstrates the lasting power of combining innovative methods alongside traditional techniques, a strategy that is slowly rewriting what is known about the ancient Maya. So, what did the tomb reveal about the Maya rulers? The discoveries at Chochkitam hint at something even more fascinating. In the next segment, we'll uncover the stunning jade mask and other artifacts that might hold the key to understanding their royal power. What secrets do these treasures reveal? The tomb and its contents, artifacts, inscriptions, and symbolism. Once the tomb was exposed, the team documented and analyzed each artifact. The first object that drew attention was the mosaic jade mask, assembled from many small fragments. The jade, sourced from the Motagua River Valley, had been valued by Maya royalty and often used in funeral rituals. Experts identified that the mask displayed motifs resembling a storm god, a figure of great importance in Maya mythology. Its natural design and specific craftsmanship indicated that the mask was not simply decorative, it was a symbol of divine protection and royal power. Arranged near the mask were carved human femur bones that had been inscribed with Maya hieroglyphs. These inscriptions appeared to record names and titles, including a reference to a ruler identified by the name Itsam Kokaj Bahlam. The hieroglyphic script, despite its brevity, provided key evidence linking the tomb to a royal dynasty active during the ancient period. In addition to these major objects, the chamber housed a series of rare spondylus shells. In ancient Maya culture, spondylus shells were not only decorative, but were used as currency and symbols of wealth. Their unusual coloration and limited natural distribution made them prized items. Archaeologists also recovered several ceramic vessels that would have contained food or drink for the afterlife, a customary inclusion in royal burials. Such vessels often held fermented chocolate, a drink reserved for nobility, which is known from other excavated Maya sites. The ceramic pieces bore simple painted designs and were well arranged along a central shelf within the tomb, suggesting that they were part of a ritual offering meant to ensure sustenance in the journey beyond death. There seemed to be ritual perfection in the arrangement of each artifact in the tomb. Researchers noted that the placement of the jade mask directly above the carved femur bone might have symbolized the merging of royal identity with divine blessing. The inscriptions on the bone were short, but carried significant meaning. One of them contained a hieroglyphic element common to images of sovereignty, thereby hinting at a connection with ruling families in cities like Tikal and Teotihuacan. Other bones in the chamber displayed subtle carvings that were interpreted as markers of an ancestral lineage, a practice seen in the burials of several known Maya dynasties. The careful integration of items from different material classes, jade, bone, ceramic, and shell, demonstrated that the tomb was a carefully planned repository of royal power and a deliberate expression of political ideology. The tomb itself had a distinctive design. It was constructed beneath a pyramid that had suffered only limited damage from natural decay. The collapsed ceiling, although partially destroyed, had not interfered with the sacred arrangement within the burial chamber. Instead, the fallen stones sometimes formed natural barriers that protected the artifacts from excessive handling. In several areas, layers of fine dust had preserved even the smallest inscriptions and painted details, allowing researchers to document features with high resolution. The overall spatial design, with its deliberate symmetry and distinct focal points, strongly echoed the ceremonial architecture found at other major Mayan sites. Among the most fascinating details was the discovery of a series of hieroglyphs on the femur bones. These inscriptions, though brief, appeared to narrate a royal story. One reading suggested that the individual had been honored not only as a ruler, but as someone who had transcended mortal life to become semi-divine. The relationship between the jade mask and the inscriptions seemed to reinforce this notion. The mask was likely a representation of a deity invoked to provide guidance or protection to the soul. As the team continued to excavate and later analyze the inscriptions, specialists in Maya epigraphy began to compare these texts with known records from sites such as Tikal. Early interpretations hinted at a link between this tomb and a network of alliances that extended across Mesoamerica during the olden days. The recovered ceramic vessels, too, offered some clues. Their simple designs contrasted with the elaborate artistry of the jade mask, suggesting that they had been produced locally using traditional techniques. Chemical analysis of residue inside some of the vessels revealed traces of cacao and maize fermentation, supporting the hypothesis that they once contained a ceremonial beverage. This discovery provided tangible evidence of the ritual practices surrounding royal burials and reinforced the idea that the tomb was not only a resting place, but a carefully planned assemblage meant to sustain the ruler's spirit. The presence of spondylus shells within the chamber was of particular significance. These shells, rarely found outside the coastal regions of Central America, indicated that long-distance trade networks had been robust during the ancient Maya period. Their deliberate placement among the burial offerings suggested that they served both as indicators of the ruler's wealth and as a medium to connect the earthly realm with the divine. In combination, these objects constructed a narrative of power, piety, and prestige that was central to Maya beliefs about kingship and the afterlife. The symbolism inherent in each artifact created a multi-layered picture of the tomb's purpose. The jade mask, with its stylized features and association with a storm deity, suggested the idea that the ruler was believed to command both earthly power and celestial forces. The inscribed bones served as a lasting record of lineage and divine favor, while the ceramic vessels and spondylus shells affirmed the notion of continued sustenance and prosperity in the afterlife. Together, these items formed a coherent message. The interred individual was not a common man, but a sovereign, whose life and death were naturally linked to the order of the universe. Throughout the excavation process, every artifact was well documented, measured, and photographed. Each item was given a unique identifier that would later be used in detailed laboratory analyses and compared to similar artifacts found across the Maya region. This level of detail was essential not only for preserving the context of the tomb, but also for allowing future researchers to verify and build upon the initial findings. The combined technological and archaeological efforts at the site have set a new benchmark for the study of untouched royal tombs in Mesoamerica. Historical context and royal lineage in Maya civilization. The discovery of this tomb has wide-ranging implications for the understanding of Maya civilization during the bygone era. By establishing a date of approximately 350 CE through radiocarbon testing, researchers have linked the burial to a time when Maya city-states, such as Tikal, Palenque, and Calakmul, were flourishing. It was during this era that complex hierarchies, elaborate rituals, and sophisticated forms of governance were in full force. The tomb itself, with its combination of precious materials and ritual objects, fits within the broader tradition of royal interment that characterized the Maya elite. The inscriptions on the carved bones and the stylistic features of the jade mask have been compared with similar elements found at other major sites. For example, the hieroglyphs resembling those recorded at Tikal have been used to trace familial and political alliances, indicating that the ruler interred in this tomb may have belonged to a far-reaching dynasty. In Maya culture, royal legitimacy was often reinforced through the ritualized display of ancestry. By inscribing the names and achievements of past rulers onto bones and monuments, the Mayans ensured that the memory of their lineage endured. The appearance of a name such as Itzam Kokaj Bahlam is significant because it suggests a connection to traditions that have long been established in the historical record. Although details remain tentative, experts now think that this tomb could belong to a previously unrecorded branch of the royal family that maintained alliances with both Tikal in Guatemala and Teotihuacan in central Mexico. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. What if these artifacts hint at a broader web of power stretching far beyond this single tomb? Up next, we'll uncover how these ritual objects might reveal hidden alliances and reshape our view of Maya dominance. Could this be the missing link in their vast political network? The careful assemblage of ritual offerings within the tomb reinforces the idea that the Maya believed strongly in an afterlife that mirrored the earthly realm. The inclusion of ceramic vessels meant for ceremonial beverages, alongside spondylus shells that denoted wealth and status, points to a burial customs system that was rich in symbolism. This system was designed not only to honor the dead, but also to prepare them for a continued existence in the spiritual domain. The rituals inferred from the placement of these items align with descriptions found in later ethnographic records of modern Maya communities, wherein offerings are made in the hope of gaining protection and prosperity from ancestral spirits. Historical records from other parts of Mesoamerica indicate that similar tombs were often constructed with both a religious and a political purpose. Royal burials like this one served as a powerful reminder to the living of the divine right of kingship. They were meant to be permanent monuments to a ruler's achievements and an assurance to his successors that his lineage was sanctioned by the gods. The artifacts kept in the tomb, in this context, function as tangible statements of power and continuity. Every element, from the jade mask to the ceramic vessels, operated as a symbolic token that transcended mere mortuary function and entered the realm of public memory and political legitimacy. Archaeologists now view this discovery as not only a significant individual finding, but also as part of a larger mosaic of Maya history. A comprehensive study of the tomb will likely contribute to a reassessment of the political dynamics that governed the Maya during the olden days. With thorough documentation and laboratory analysis still ongoing, researchers expect that further insights into trade networks, religious practice, and dynastic succession will emerge. Each artifact contributes a vital piece to the puzzle of how Maya elites constructed their identities and ensured the permanence of their rule. In many ways, the tomb embodies the convergence of artistic achievement and political expression. The jade mask, with its precise carving and deep cultural associations, is a prime example of the high level of skill that Maya artisans attained. Its connection to the storm god reinforces the common belief that natural forces were interwoven with the power of the king. Such symbolism was central to Maya cosmology, wherein deities were both revered and emulated by the living. Similarly, the hieroglyphic inscriptions carved on the femur bones provide more than just names. They are records of a cosmic order that placed the ruler within a lineage that was as much divine as it was human. Historical comparisons also reveal that many royal tombs in the Maya area have similar traits, yet each find brings additional variations. Previous discoveries at sites like Chichen Itza and Palenque have offered glimpses into how widespread these traditions were. The fact that this tomb is largely intact sets it apart from many others that have been disturbed by looting or natural weathering. Preservation of contextual information is rare and, therefore, particularly valuable for refining our understanding of ancient Maya political organization and religious practice. Each detail recorded from this tomb will be carefully integrated into a bigger framework that aims to explain the evolution of royal ideology throughout Mesoamerica. By situating the tomb within its larger historical context, the research team is challenging previously existing theories that tended to compartmentalize Maya burial practices. Instead, they argue for a more interconnected view of ancient society, one that includes extensive kinship networks, interregional alliances, and shared ritual practices that reached beyond local boundaries. The discovery has the potential to change scholarly discussions about the origins of Maya state formation and the role that divine kingship played in maintaining social order. It opens up exciting possibilities for reinterpreting texts and artifacts from other sites, as comparisons may now yield new insights into political and religious continuity across time. But what deeper secrets lie within the untouched tomb? As scientists begin their analysis, could this discovery redefine what we know about Maya royalty and ritual? Let's find out. Implications for Maya archaeology and ongoing investigation. The discovery of this untouched tomb has far-reaching implications for Maya archaeology. Researchers are now able to analyze artifacts that have remained in situ since the time of the burial. Such pristine context is invaluable for constructing accurate interpretations of royal rites. The well-preserved state of the tomb and its contents provides a baseline that modern archaeologists can use as a reference point when examining more disturbed sites. Comprehensive laboratory tests, including DNA analysis and material composition studies, are already underway. These analyses will help determine the exact origins of the materials used and may even reveal genetic information about the royal family involved. The inscriptions on the bones have been sent to experts in Maya epigraphy, who are comparing these texts with established databases. Early indications are that the inscriptions affirm the importance of ancestral worship and elaborate cultic practices. As specialists work to decipher the full meaning behind these carvings, they hope to unlock the long-lost history of this dynasty. The extraordinary preservation of organic material, such as remnants of ceremonial beverages within the ceramic vessels, offers a look into the dietary and ritual practices of the elite. Chemical residue analysis on these vessels may identify specific ingredients that have rarely been documented elsewhere. Each test and examination is expected to contribute to a larger narrative about the social structure, trade networks, and religious beliefs of ancient Maya society. The ongoing investigation extends beyond simple cataloguing and analysis. The research team plans future excavations in adjacent areas, aiming to locate additional structures that might have been associated with the tomb. If more royal burials are found nearby, they could provide further evidence of a central dynastic complex at Chochkitam. At the same time, scholars are engaging in a multidisciplinary approach, collaborating with specialists in geology, chemistry, and art history to reassemble a holistic view of how Mayan rulers maintained their power. The convergence of multiple scientific methods promises to yield a richer understanding of the cultural landscape during ancient times. The implications of this discovery are significant, as many previous excavations in the region have been marred by looting or uncontrolled salvage. In contrast, this tomb offers a nearly untouched record, allowing for research that is as close as possible to the original ceremonial context. This level of detail has rarely been available and sets a new standard for future excavations throughout the Maya Biosphere Reserve. Every object, inscription, and architectural detail is being investigated for clues about trade, political alliances, and religious ideology. The research also stresses the importance of modern preservation techniques, emphasizing that good documentation can preserve even the smallest details for future generations of archaeologists. The findings at Chochkitam are being incorporated into digital databases that compare new data with previous discoveries across Mesoamerica. This integration is expected to help create a comprehensive model of royal burial traditions across different Maya centers. By linking this discovery to other major sites, researchers can better map the network of alliances that underpinned the ancient Maya world. These efforts present a growing recognition within the field that abandoned discoveries are part of a much bigger matrix of cultural interaction. The data gathered from the tomb has already inspired new research proposals and funding initiatives aimed at further exploring the area. In essence, this discovery offers a powerful case study of how advanced technology and careful excavation work can restore lost chapters of ancient history. The team is now preparing more reports and scholarly articles that will disseminate their findings to the international academic community. Future symposia and collaborative projects are being planned to ensure that the knowledge obtained from this tomb influences future research directions in Maya archaeology. As each test, analysis, and excavation round unfolds, the story of this royal burial will continue to deepen, providing insights not only about a single king, but also about the societal structures that defined the entire Maya world. Additional findings and extended perspectives. Outside the main tomb chamber, the excavation team discovered several small features that widened our understanding of the ritual landscape at Chochkitam. In one area, archaeologists found a set of unexamined stone markers arranged in a loose circle. These stones bear faint red ochre stains that likely were not used for writing, but rather to designate a sacred boundary. Samples from the ochre indicate the pigment was specially prepared, suggesting that these stones marked an area used for offerings or short ritual ceremonies. Nearby, experts discovered remnants of a low, stone-lined channel running along the outer edge of the tomb complex. Analysis of the channel's sediment revealed unusual levels of phosphorus and nitrogen. Such soil enrichment is not common in surrounding areas and may point to repeated feasting events or special agricultural practices meant to honor the ancestors. In addition, small fragments of broken shell objects of different styles than the spondylus found inside the tomb were recovered. These shells might have come from distant coastal regions, hinting at long-distance trade connections involved in ritual traditions. Fragments of carbonized feathers were also present in a discrete cluster of deposits near a collapsed wall. The feathers, identified as likely belonging to local birds, are thought to represent sacred symbols related to air and fertility. In another isolated spot, the team recovered several undecorated clay tokens with simple imprints. These tokens could represent items made by local artisans for ordinary ritual purposes, or mark community participation in ceremonies related to the royal burial. Scattered traces of old tree roots were detected in soil samples near the markers. These roots may be remnants of a once sacred tree that bridged heaven and earth in Maya belief. Plans include detailed microbotanical studies and further chemical residue analysis to clarify the function of these features. Collectively, these additional findings suggest that the royal tomb was part of a broader ceremonial area that blended elite and communal practices, expanding our view of ritual life at Chochkitam. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating explorations into ancient civilizations. Do watch our next video to learn about other surprising discoveries. See you soon.